everyone, and welcome to She Shoots podcast, Women Empowering Women in the Shooting Community, Season 4, Episode 43, Shotgun Sparks, a New Shooter's Crush. My name is Kelly Malonza, and I'm from Project Maple Seed, Slam for Radio, and the CCFR Women's Program. And joining me today, as always, are Deneen Tomlin and Casey Gavinchuk from Lady Guns. And Rahina is not with us tonight, so we'd like to wish her a happy vacation and get on with the show. I'd also like to start by taking a moment to thank our sponsors. We have Cabela's Canada Outdoor Fund, positively shaping the future of the outdoors. Every cent donated by rounding up at the checkout goes towards helping Canadian organizations just like ours. Beretta is family owned and operated since 1526, and Vortex, the best in optics. If you have any questions or comments throughout the show, make sure to leave them in the chat box below. And without further ado, here's Deneen to introduce our guests.
Thank you very much, Kelly. We are super excited. We're doing a little switch up tonight.
Yeah.
We spent, the better part of 3.5, 4 years interviewing people who have great experience and traveled the world and coaches and et cetera in the shooting sports. And so we thought we'd switch it up and talk to somebody who is brand new to it. So brand new, we're going to talk about her story. So I have the privilege and the honor of introducing Heather Prosak. Heather's a Canadian media personality with over 20 years in media. She has hosted shows across the Prairies and is currently on air in Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, and Winnipeg. A former program director and talent coach, Heather blends fun with depth. And off air, she's a newcomer to the world of shooting. So tonight, Heather, we're going to ask you to share with us the challenges and triumphs of learning a new sport, your candid experiences, your insights and inspiring stories, and we're all going to celebrate the joy of you discovering this new passion in our favorite shooting sports. So welcome to the show, Heather.
Thank you so much. You guys, can you hear me? Is everything okay? Because there's always something not working for me. Thanks for having me, guys. This is like awesome. First of all, being so new to this sport, I just finding you guys having this show and such an established show, I'm like honored to be a part of it. And Deneen was like my very first invite where she's like, come out and shoot. So I just feel like so privileged to know women like you and that you guys are doing this encouraging thing, because I wasn't sure when I wanted to, kind of pick up the skill set. I was like, okay, am I going to have people to go with? Because that was my big question. So, yeah.
Deneen, Deneen's so positive. She introduces a lot of people, especially in your area, to shooting. So such a great person to align yourself with.
Oh, I feel so lucky, especially when you see her shoot. Sorry, I'm just like gushing about you. Because when we were out shooting, I was like, oh, holy. I'm like, okay, I'm lucky. This is great. This is a good friend.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I try and just keep moving to hit the things that are moving. That's exactly what I'm supposed to do. So.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
Thanks. So we've got a whole bunch of questions for you tonight. We want to go through this journey that you're on. And so I'm just going to throw it over to Kelly to get us started.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Now, tell us about where you grew up, etc. Did you grow up in a gun family? We have a bit of your bio, and so we have something currently or just recent. But tell us a little bit about how you grew up and
I guess
you want to hear about little Heather.
Yeah,
I guess you heard my career part. Well, little Heather grew up in Manitoba.
Okay.
In a hunting family. So we were used to, I realized only after I graduated how lucky I was to be part of, a dad that went out and harvested, and we made, the meat would be in our freezer. We knew where it came from. And mom would be like, go to the garden and get everything fresh. Like, I just thought everyone grew up that way. That's not the case. You didn't realize it till later. Now I'm like, oh, I so wish I was back to those days. So I grew up in small rural Manitoba. And my dad always shot. And so I never really was interested in it as a child. My dad didn't encourage it. He did it, it was for boys for the most part. And very few women would you ever see doing it. So it just was never top of mind until now. But yeah, I grew up in a family with a brother and a sister. We have a huge family on both sides of my parents' sides of the family. So we always had massive like Christmases and Easters and all of that good stuff.
Mhm.
So it was always so much fun. And then as I graduated, got into media and moved around a lot. So I have a lot of friends across the country, which is really fun too.
Well, I hope they're all watching tonight, Heather. And
Oh, they're getting this after. I'm like, you watch it and then you sign up and then we're going to go shooting.
outstanding, outstanding. So you've told us a little bit about growing up and that hunting was around, and that unfortunately, which is not dissimilar to me growing up. My dad
Yeah.
introduced us, but it wasn't, hey, we're going to go shoot trap. Do you want to come give it a try? Or, hey, we're going hunting. Are you interested? So I can totally appreciate the position that you were in then. So what changed everything? Why all of a sudden did Heather decide it was time to get into the gun game and get your gun license?
Well, I think, even though my dad didn't go like, "Hey, let's go hunting," or "Let's go try that out," he would take us out back and let us, kind of like
Mhm.
not play around with it, but he would show us what to do and what not to do, because we were in an area that was a little bit, it was rural. There's
Yep.
bears everywhere. There's all kinds of wildlife everywhere, and but we never really went further than that. But just even that little bit of like, just a little bit of your dad just showing you, you're always kind of curious about it. But it wasn't until in the last probably 5 years, it's whenever the government put in place that, when a gun owner passes away, that someone else has to have their license in order to have the guns. And I just started thinking about that a little bit more. My dad is healthy. He's awesome. He can run races. He's good. But it's one of those things that I started thinking about, okay, well, if I'm thinking about it now, why don't I just get it done?
Yeah.
And then it's good because those guns are special to me. I grew up around them, and so that's how it started. But then it was just always me talking about it, and then I started. I have some projects I work on the side,
Mhm.
and I met Jeremy Regato, and Jeremy became a great friend of mine. A group of guys that are with an agency, and Jeremy and I were chatting, and they go out and shoot all the time. So he's like, "Hey, do you have your pal? Do you have your R pal?" And I'm like, "No, I'm meaning to get it. I'm meaning to get it." Well, he gifted it to me.
Ah,
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, and I have to be honest, I probably wouldn't have gone and done the act of, like, I'd like to think I would have, but it's one of those things where you're like, "I'm gonna do it. I'll do it."
right.
But when it's gifted to you, you're like, "Oh, I'm going to do this now." So I have a big shout out to Jeremy for that, because that was a cool gift, unexpected gift, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He told me after, he's like, "Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I gave those
Yeah.
out all the time," which I
That's
thought, "Oh,
cool.
brilliant."
So you're not typically a shy person from my experience, but you got this gift and you had to sign up, so you called or you did it online or whatever, but then Heather had to show up.
Mm.
Oh, I'm
What was
so
that?
nervous.
What was that like?
Um, well, I was like going into the weekend. So it was a full weekend, and Uh,
Mhm.
first of all, I was like, "Do I even wanna do this?" Like, I'm like, "Do I? Like, what does this look like?" Because 'Cause you're signing all this paperwork, and then they're walking you through everything, and then they're like, "Hey, by the way, even though you're going and this is really about training and it's about, safety, because that's what you're getting trained on, right?
Yeah.
The guns don't work, but if you accidentally point it at someone, you fail." And I'm like, "Oh," like the pressure. Now I'm even more nervous going, "Okay, yeah, of course don't point it at someone, but we're all newbies here." So, there was all that, like, just a little bit of pressure. We got
Pressure.
into the room, yeah, and I still felt the pressure. Majority were men, but there were a handful of
Mhm.
women, and women that brought their young kids, which I really like that idea too.
Yeah.
And so once we got into that atmosphere, it was like a classroom. And so you're sitting there, you got the books, and then you get, these instructors have done it a million times, and they come with so much experience, which they
Yeah.
explained at the beginning. And so immediately I'm just like, "Oh, okay, there was nothing to be nervous about. What am I doing?" And they walk you through absolutely everything. It's a lot of information that you're taking in at the same time. So you don't really have time to be nervous anyway. Once you sit down, you're like, you've forgotten about it. Like any
Mhm.
pressure, you've forgotten about it. And what I noticed the most and the best was that they're just so helpful. So
Yeah.
even when I were like, what, like there were times, like sometimes it's like people are talking and I'm thinking, how we all just drift away. And I'm like, now's not the time to drift. And then and then I'm like, oh, I got to figure this out. What did you say? And then he comes over and he helps me. So it was just a very friendly atmosphere, one that,
Mhm.
I needed. Absolutely. So yeah, it was interesting to go through it. And then every day was different. So you start with the first one of the introductions and everything, but you're actually
Mhm.
going through so much data and so much information. You're writing it down. But I have to say that you will pass if you're paying attention and you really want to do it because
So
it
true.
is a no-brainer.
It's intuitive as well.
It is.
Intuitive. That's a
It
good one.
truly is. Yeah. So your overall impression of the people that were taking the PAL course with you, were they
Oh,
engaged? I'm really interested to see how many. You said that there was women there. How many women were there overall, do you think?
maybe I can't remember how big the class was, but I think there were like 20 to 25 of us, and so
Wow.
maybe 6 of us.
Well, that's a really
Not
good
bad at all.
I thought
percentage.
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they brought some, like half of them brought their kids. And I was like, well, dad, obviously, they said their husbands already had theirs. So it was something they did. And I was like, okay, that is very cool. The whole
It's
family's
really
getting it.
cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And did they happen to
Um,
go around the room to ask everybody why they were getting their license? I know that was part of my course back
mhm.
when I took it. Do you
The
recall?
class was sold out, so it was
Oh,
packed.
wow.
So I'm going to say no, they didn't. I'm trying to remember. It was really rapid fire. Like I was, yeah, I don't actually think they went around the room just with our names.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, I was just curious if there was more hunters and sport shooters, recreation. I was curious, but we'll
I
have
was
to
trying to
see that
size them
one.
all up, but I couldn't figure it out. And then I thought, what did they think about me? What do they think I'm getting it for?
And so when you were done and you got through it,
Mhm.
uh, there's some paperwork to be done and there's some references that have to be checked. How did that process go for you and how did that feel?
And this is like after, right? Where you go
Yeah.
through the
Yeah,
paperwork, get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
You've just passed your test, and
yeah.
then the next step.
you pass your test and then you look and you go, oh crap,
Oh
all this
God. No.
paperwork and references, and people are doing reference checks, and I'm going to be forever in a database because
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're such safety conscious and concerned people.
Right.
You know what? That was my big takeaway from the entire thing was how safety conscious it was. Like it was absolute that was the number one forefront. Like one person did get escorted out of the I'll get to answer your question. One person did get escorted out and he wasn't a bad guy. He just accidentally failed to point the gun that would not fire on the
In
floor.
a
He
safe
just got
direction.
caught up in his brain, yeah, in a safe
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
And so I felt bad for him, but I was like, well, them's the breaks. That's how this works. So sorry, that was just like, I do feel bad. But the overall, like when I got the paperwork, I was like, oh man, I'm like, this is a lot. Like
Mhm.
they're making sure that you know someone, that it's all checked out, that you have all of your credentials, you are who you say you are. So it took me about a week and a half to 2 weeks to get it all done, the picture, all of that, and then sending it away. So yeah, it's definitely not like you go in, you get your license, you're off, you go buy a gun. It's no,
Mhm.
there's more to this for sure.
K- For those that are listening that have never taken the PAL course, can you tell them about how long you had to wait before anything took place?
Before I got
You
my
your license.
I still am waiting for it.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah. So
How
it's,
long has it been?
3 months.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yep.
So we're still fresh into the period there.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Now I was
it's
told that I might be able to get it, but I'm not sure if I can get it earlier. I will have to place a call apparently, maybe.
sometimes it's helpful because it does go and it sits for a little bit. Um, and then they will start checking those references. And it does help when you give them a call to say, what's the process? Where am I in the process? And they'll
Yeah,
let you know as well. So,
yeah.
yeah. So, overall impression of the PAL course, the process itself, you said it's very safety conscious. Anything else that you had to take as a takeaway from it?
I think that was my biggest one, which, sometimes you hear such, um, it's misinformation, if anything, that, just people with guns, that's just not possible, right?
Yeah.
Like you really have to go through this course. And when you're going through the course, the safety instructors are absolutely incredible and full of knowledge. And I think
Mhm.
that is, I actually felt the weight as great as the instructors were. I could feel the weight that they carry and the responsibility that they carry
Yeah.
as they're teaching. And that was a big takeaway for me is that, yeah, they made it like great. They made it informative and a bit fun, but very much so they're really honed in when they're teaching. And you could tell like they've got certain things they need to do. And they have about 3 people when I was doing it that they're making sure everything's checked, everything crossed off, and then they're moving it forward to the next place. So I felt really good about just where our country is regarding
Mhm.
any type of firearms and anyone that's gone through training to get that.
I love that. And I love that
Yeah,
you call
me
them
too.
safety instructors because they're not shooting instructors.
No.
They're
No.
safety instructors, and their job is to make sure that anybody who wants to get a gun license in Canada passes every one of those safety checks before they can be scrutinized by the RCMP to have a license. So they are safety instructors, and it is all about making sure that they are good, safe people that
Mhm.
receive that license. So I'm glad the experience was so positive, and
Mhm.
If I could say one more thing about that, it's true because
Sure.
when we were doing the classroom work, we didn't shoot.
no,
Right? It was
No, you
all
don't.
safety, and that was
Yep.
my surprising. I thought I was going in there shooting. Like, that's where my pressure came from. I'm like, "Okay, this is gonna be too much," but, it was only and all safety. How to make sure you're safety, looking at the gun, where to point the gun, all those little things that, you have to know, right? So, yeah.
Mhm.
outstanding. And I know from my experience, they certainly do talk also about hunting and transport and storage and all that stuff,
Mhm.
which would have been part of yours as well. So I think that they like to cover uh, that whole gambit because a sports shooter or a plinker may become a hunter, or a hunter may
Correct.
take
Yeah.
up something else. So they do make sure
So
to cover it all. So I love your appreciation for it because once we've done it, a decade or 2 decades or more ago, we not saying anything
she's
else,
saying we're old.
uh,
Yes.
that we may have lost a little bit of the appreciation of how intense these people are and I mean that in a very respectful way, taking this job very seriously. So
Yeah.
you talked about thinking you were going to show up to shoot a gun. So maybe it's time we talk about the first time you shot a
You
gun.
shot a gun.
Thanks to
Yeah.
Deneen.
Well, let's talk about you going to the range first time. So Deneen asked you,
Yeah.
right? What made you decide to say yes?
Well, because it's Deneen. Okay,
Okay.
so first of all, so Deneen and I go way back where we've known each other for a couple years, and I just knew when she talked about stuff that was going on in her life, or she said she'd go shooting with Eric, her partner. I was always like,
Mhm.
this woman thinks like she seems like she knows a lot about this, and so I knew before I even went through this that I wanted to shoot with this woman because there's a confidence in that she carries, and you carry the same confidence, Kelly. And I don't know what that is. Maybe you guys can tell me. Maybe I'll get it one day.
it, it
We
comes with
fake it
the
until we make it. I don't
that's
know.
right. It comes with the empowerment. That's right.
It does.
Maybe, so I get a text and Deneen's like, "You wanna come out?" And I'm like, "Yes." Oh my gosh. So, I didn't have anything, right? I didn't even know what to at that point, I was so new. I hadn't even, sent anything away yet as far as my license, and paperwork. And so she informed me, "No, no, you can come because we have everyone that's here that, you're gonna
We
have to film me
hosted.
and
Yeah,
you
we
host it."
hosted you. Yeah.
So she, let me use the, glasses, the vest. She basically set me up, basically. I was just a baby walking in there,
Yeah.
and, it was so awesome. I have to give a shout out to the Calgary Firearms Center because it was like just a really respectful, but also you felt like a friend when you walked in there. They really
Mhm.
have a family environment, and I guess, I can't speak to a lot of firearm centers, but I would think that there's like this probably this community that's
Yeah,
there.
there is.
There certainly is. And the group, giving a shout out, the group that I invited you to come join was actually one of my my dog trialing groups. So bird dog hunting. And so it was a fun day to get everybody out because usually we're running dogs, training dogs, or trialing dogs. So this was a way to get people out just having fun shooting clay targets. And we had different type of dog people from different clubs. So we kind of mixed it up. So you got double the family. You got the firearm center, but you also got the dog club family, which in a lot of cases, we all hunt together. So it's a great group, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. I spent the rest of the day with you guys, so you guys are really good. And then I noticed very quickly, because I didn't really pay attention that it was the dog group, and I was like, all these people hunt with dogs, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Oh, I'm like, and they're like, are you in on this? I'm like, whoa, let's slow down here, one step at a time. I'm just picking up the gun for the first time.
What do you mean there's dogs? I get to bring my dog?
My little Bichon, she's coming.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
People
so,
there.
So that was the first time you ever got to pick up a gun at a range. And so we took you out to something called the 5 stand, which was where you had your experience. So tell us about getting close to the stand, how nervous you were getting or not, being handed the gun. Let's go through that.
Yeah. Oh no, I was nervous again, which you have to know me. I don't get nervous a lot.
No.
So this is really good because it's like, oh, okay, that's like, I get that feeling again. That's cool. But Deneen did a great job of showing me around, and I knew what you were doing. You probably you could feel that I was a bit nervous. So you were walking me around the entire area there at the firearm center, and you were just kind of showing me what this was. And I basically got, I got kind of the first time from Deneen showing me around, and then I got the other one from the instructor that's there. Are they called instructors? This is how new I am. Hosts.
Yeah.
Hosts. And so by the time we got up to the 5 stand, I kind of got a gauge for what it was, and then it was to take the gun. And then I was like, I wasn't nervous because again, the responsibility of having something like that, it just kicks in you that the nerves are gone and you're like safety first. And so that was my number one. It was kind of like I honed in on that. But then I'm like, where are these targets?
So I have to say something. 5 stand's not easy, especially if it's your first time. So congratulations on that. But
I got a couple.
You got more than a couple. Yeah.
So, okay, before going in, what was your expectations? Were you expecting you were just going to crush it, or again, that's the name of our show tonight. Or were you going, I don't know if I can do this? So yeah, what was your expectations of what happened, what was going to take place?
Well, I'm confident, but I wasn't that confident.
All right. But I did hear you got quite a few. You got a few, right?
I did. I totally did. And I got the pin. One of the guys gave me a pin, my first pin. I was sitting in my chair.
Your first shooting award. Absolutely. So for people who maybe haven't met me in person or Heather, I'm 5'4" and Heather's like 6 foot a lot. So for me to give her guidance and instructor from behind her shooting shoulder, I needed a step stool or maybe a small ladder. So I have a friend that is a good friend of both Casey and I, and his name is Luther, and he is a legendary instructor and shooter and all things firearms. And I put Heather in his very capable hands, handed her one of my guns, and I said, he will make you great. And he did.
He did. Oh my gosh. Well, first when you handed me off to him, I'm like, what? Wait. No, I don't want a stranger. I was like, Deneen. And I didn't understand the whole height variation thing. I was like, okay, now
I would have had to peek behind you up. I would have been like, okay.
No, I was like, I don't want to go with this guy. I was like, I was totally fine with you. I came with you. So after I internally did that whole thing, Luther was amazing. But it was funny because the first time I shot, he knew. He didn't say anything. He, was watching me to make sure everything was good. I realize now, but he stood right behind me because he was letting me feel what would happen when I'm not standing properly. But he's a big guy. So like I kind of came back and he's like, so you got to get your stance proper. And I was like, yeah, I do. So it was just those type of little, you don't know until you don't do it right kind of
Yep.
moments. And then he just give little tips along the way. And I don't know what he did. What did he do in his past?
Well, in his career, he was a law enforcement officer. He's a policeman.
Oh, okay.
But he's also a gold medal World Police and Fire Games competitor as well. So
That was it.
amongst a bunch of other things. But yeah.
So now I have this rule. Now that I've been with Luther and Deneen, I'm like, unless you're sniper status, I don't want to train with you.
My expectation is up here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I want to be great. No, Luther was amazing. And I spent the entire day with him. So we went 5-stand. And then where
Awesome.
did we go from there, Deneen?
We did sporting clays, but before we get off the 5-stand, I just wanted to talk about the fact that we're surrounded by about 10 other shooters. And there was myself and another lady, and all the rest were guys. And we were all pretty familiar with each other. So I just wanted to talk about that sense of inclusion or exclusion, mostly males. How did that feel, being brought into this group of redneck shooters?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. These redneck shooters with these white collar jobs. Yeah. You know what? It didn't matter the background you came from. I didn't even know what anyone did, to be honest. I think I mentioned it earlier when I walked into the clubhouse, the firearm center. You know, you felt this community, and then I take from it. Also, when I went to the safety training, it's that same feeling, like everybody is at the same level, no matter what their skill set is at. And I immediately felt that. I immediately felt that you all were very good. And I was very new. But nobody had like an ego. There was, sometimes you see that there's like someone with a bit of a, I don't know, they come in with a little bit of that stride, like they know they're all that. It doesn't matter the sport. But this one definitely not like that, because everybody's focused in on their own. And it's, I don't know if I want to compare it to golf, but you know what I mean when I say it's like golf, because you're challenging yourself all the time and what you've done. So that's what I got from it. Yeah. And everybody was just friendly. Like when I hit my first target, like you guys were all cheering, and I was like, oh, thanks. I'm like, okay, now I'm in. Now I get it. Now I'm stuck in this.
And once you see that target blow up, it's an instant addiction to do it again and again and again, right? And so again, for people watching, I lent Heather my Beretta 391 Technies semi-auto cut down to my size. So it had it was eating up the recoil because it's a 12 gauge, but the stock was significantly short. So it was kind of tactical for Heather. So she shot. She was an absolute superstar on the 5-stand, and I love the segue to golf, because then the group said, we're going to go over to the sporting clays course, which is likened to golf with a shotgun.
Right.
And then Heather looked at Luther, and Luther said, here's my Kohler over and under. And when I hold it, it looks like a prop gun because it's this big. And so off she went with this, and I didn't see her again until we were back in the parking lot, because I was squatting a different foursome. And so tell me, I didn't get a chance to hear how that part of the day went.
How was sporting clays?
Sporting clays.
That was... I like 5-stand. I like that we started there, but I really loved sporting clays. I really love Luther's gun a lot. I love shooting that gun. It was beautiful. And it just, I hit a few. There was a lot more thinking going on. I started thinking more, and that's, I think, what I got to get away from that, because that's why I was hitting the targets earlier. So once I got into this mode, I'm like, oh, okay, now I hit some targets. Now I got to keep going. And then I was starting to overthink, but I got some of them. And then, Luther was kind of walking me through like what to expect when those targets are going that way or that way, and you've got to follow through. It was so funny, because I said to him, I played tennis for a little bit years ago, and he's like, you got to follow through. And I'm like, oh, like when I play tennis. And he just looks at me, he's like, no, but okay.
Kind of, though. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from for that.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, I can.
But I enjoyed it. I really loved the outdoors and being outdoors, and just taking it in that moment where it's quiet and then you pull that release, and then the targets are up there, and then it's just you, the shot. It's I can't believe I'm saying this. It's beautiful.
It is.
It is. So
Yeah.
Casey and I have often made a joke about it being yoga with a gun, because you just described it perfectly. Because you're in this group and you're having fun and everybody's talking, and then it's your turn and you get up and it's dead silent.
Yes.
There's birds chirping and there's other shots going off elsewhere on the shooting range, but it's just you and your moment and your target. And then you say pull.
Yeah.
And you get to be in your head, and
that's it. It's only you.
Yeah.
It's you, the gun, and that target. That's it. Yeah, it's powerful. Again, the weight of the responsibility of what you're doing. But when I said beautiful, I meant it, because you're just in this gorgeous scenario, and you really can hear birds, and it's quiet, and it's like that moment where all you have is, it's kind of like, how we have everything going on in our world. Like, you've got your phone, you've got your computer, you got to go there, got to meet with this person. And in that moment, it is just you and the gun. That's it. Target. That's it. It's, it is yoga. Jeez, that is good. That's really good.
Casey even made us a t-shirt for Lady Guns. This is my yoga. So,
I totally get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Some people, when they heard that I took this up, that know nothing about it, and then I don't know, what their experience is, if they had a dad that hunted or not. But they definitely looked at me like I had 3 heads, and some were like, "Oh, you're a badass," and I'm like, "It's really not. Like, it's just a different skill set to pick up." And I'm so thankful that Jeremy, first of all, gifted me that, and secondly, that I followed through with it, because it's pretty awesome. And meeting women like you who've been doing it for years, it's something for me to be like, okay, I want to get to that place.
I think you're well on your way.
Thanks.
I think so too.
I
And we
hope so.
welcome you. We welcome you to the flock of yoga women.
Yoga.
I need a t-shirt.
Shotgun yoga. From our conversation, I think what I'm hearing from you is that you're going to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to go to again.
I actually looked at Deneen. Do you remember the moment I looked at you when I first got I think it was the first or second target that I hit. And I looked at you and I went, oh, okay. And you're like, expensive little hobby you've just joined. And I'm like, okay.
I get it. Oh, yeah.
I'm
in.
This. Yeah, it absolutely is. And that moment is, I was happy to be there and witness it, Heather. It was beautiful. And I can't wait to have you back again. It's awesome to see people have a certain set of expectations before they go. And then to see what happens. And for everybody, it's different, quite frankly. Some people aren't as positive about it. Some people, it's too overpowering for them. But for most women that I've had the opportunity to work with or introduce or instruct, they are in it to win it, to have fun, to meet more women. And they just feel so good about themselves. And I think part of it is exactly because everything else is gone. Kids, groceries, work, husbands, dogs. It's just gone for those 50 targets, or however many you're shooting. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because I think this is really cool.
She's flipping the script. She's now interviewing us.
Are you impressed that I didn't do that once until now? I was like, I almost took it over. Yeah. What each of you, do you have advice for someone who's new like me, that I should remember or think about?
Remember or think about?
Yeah, I'm just opening the door.
Open the door. Just be open to the experience and what anyone and everyone. If somebody asks you if you would like to try this, try it.
Oh, okay.
And ask questions about it, because you don't know what you don't know. And our community is one that's very supportive. So again, just like you felt included with the very experienced shooters on your first day, our community is a really, really incredible community that will, if they see you and they see that you're interested in something, they'll offer you the ability to shoot it. If you are interested but you don't know how to get started, just go to a club. And there'll be lots of people there that will give you information on how to join or where to go or how to start.
Great, all great advice, and I would echo all that. Absolutely. Don't think about it when somebody says, "Hey, do you want to give this a try?" In all the firearm sports. And I want to bring somebody up. I won't mention names, although we've interviewed her a few times on the show. But Canada's #1 female shooter right now in IPSC, so handgun.
Yep.
She moved to Calgary, didn't know anybody, showed up at a gun range and said, "I want to try that." And now she's Canada's #1 shooter in her discipline.
No way.
Yeah. And she's going to the Worlds. She's going to be there next month.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great story.
And that was because she just went and put her hand up and said, "I want to try this. I've seen it. I want to give it a go." So, so absolutely try it all, Heather. I mean, you've got.
It's true to life too, right? Just in general, like,
right?
Really.
Just do it.
No, it is true. And I mean, I've got a few different types of firearms, so you can try all of the ones that are currently legal. So, you know, and we can get out again and again because it's all about that and bringing another new person another new person. So aside from echoing Kelly's comments, that's the other thing I would say: share your experience.
Yeah.
Invite others, men, women, moms with kids, because we need to really continue to encourage people to understand, to be educated, that this process is not taken lightly, and that this sport is like any other. It's like golf, it's like hockey. It has safety concerns, it has fun, it has a family, and it's just a good, safe, fun time.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's great advice. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's next?
So Deneen mentioned it a little bit. Yeah. I think I'm delayed a little bit again.
That's
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Can hear
All
you
right. So Deneen did mention it. She says that she has all kinds of different guns. What are you interested in next? Handgun, rifle? What do you think you're going to want to try next?
I like the handgun. Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to get well versed in all of it. So I want to get well versed and then get my own, obviously. But it's I'm really interested in the handguns. And I was just talking to Jeremy today, and he was like, "Well, you'll have to come out shooting." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I want to do in the winter. I really want to spend a lot of my time doing that." But like you both gave me such wise advice, I'm not going to say no to anything. So if someone goes, "Hey, let's go back to the range," and it's not handguns, I'm going to go because I really enjoyed. I just want to get used to all of it and get a little bit more comfortable with it. That was my #1, getting more comfortable with it, I think is, you guys had asked me, like, how do you feel? I'm not nervous anymore, but I want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
There's always, I find, a little bit of, I don't want to say nervous, deep-seated respect for the firearm.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, actually.
Yeah. Because firearms themselves are no different than a shovel, but it's the operator, and that's why choosing who you get to hang around with when you're at the gun range is really important.
It is.
And I think you'll find that when you get the opportunity to start shooting pistols, you're going to have this moment where you go, "Oh my God, holy crap, this one's little," and the muzzle goes all over. Whereas that big long gun, I could control easier. So all of a sudden, that deep-seated respect, it grows in magnitude because you're controlling a gun with a short muzzle. So it's part of the fun and part of the experience.
Wow, I'm going through the moment as you're talking, thinking, "Well, I didn't even think about that." That's a new experience as you're telling me what I'm, might feel. That's wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So shotgun is totally different than handgun, and it's totally different than rifle. And there's differences. The differences between them, it's just as if it's let's go for ice cream. And today I'm going to have chocolate, and tomorrow I'm going to have Rocky Road, and tomorrow all my favorites, right? But they're favorites for different reasons.
Right.
And to try them all. So and when you, as women are interesting. They're very obviously we're different than men, but what I find when taking women to the range, and once they try it, typically women love the sport, but the first thing that they try, they really want to understand it, get used to it, get comfortable with it, and then also become proficient in it, and then move on and go on to the next thing. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that as well. But when you're like,
Yeah.
what do you want to try next? I'm like, well, the handguns, like, and that is really
Yeah.
why I went to get went for safety. I wanted, that was the part of with my dad and everything and his guns, but he's shotgun rifle, right? But
Right.
I really thought, well, the handgun would be a really interesting one because my dad didn't do any of that. He was always hunting. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's an interesting way to put it because as much as I wanted to do the handgun, once I went out with Deneen and the crew, I was like, okay, I need to do this. I need to get better at this. And then Luther's like, I'll take you out anytime, the next time we do it. And I'm like, I was like inside, like cheering because he's so good and such a great trainer. And
That's
so it
awesome.
was like, you just feel honored that you're like, okay, he'll still train me. This is great.
And another thing, going back to Kelly's, just to add to that, is in this particular sport, women get the chance to ask all the questions.
Yeah.
And we're really good at asking them because everybody assumes we don't know anything usually about the firearms and the sports and everything. And so we get the chance to ask all the questions. And I feel bad sometimes because guys get a little bit stuck in that I'm a guy, I'm supposed to know the answer to this. And so in any situation with firearms, ask the questions,
I agree.
ask the questions, because even when you think you know a whole bunch, there's so much more to learn and so much that you don't know. So there's lots to learn, and a lot of it isn't necessary to safely shoot guns and have fun. But once you start learning, it's you want to know more, and that's what I
Yeah.
found anyway. So
Yeah, I ask a lot of questions on a daily basis, which you probably already know. I've been called like a 2-year-old at times, so yes.
Why? Why?
Yeah, but what does
why?
happen there? I had to catch myself a couple times with Luther, but you just keep asking because you really want to truly understand the world.
Yeah.
You want to understand what you're getting into. You want to respect it because for years and years upon years of history, there's been this group and you're a part of it now. And so you want to kind of understand a little bit more about it. Like how did the firearm centers come to be? What's going on,
Yeah.
with the ever changing laws and everything. You want to understand what you and Kelly probably just are so proficient in understanding that. Yeah, questions are good. I totally feel that way when you say that about men versus women. And I hope men, especially men just getting into it, ask questions because it's like, who cares? Just ask.
Right? Just ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I have another question. I'm just going to
just
ask.
you ask.
Tell me how your dad responded. How did the father daughter thing go down?
Well, he's like, I'm proud of you. But my mom's
Yeah.
like, what is she doing? It came out of left field for both of them though. Because it's not like I didn't really talk to them about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going in this weekend. You're not going to hear from me. I'm going in for firearms training. And they're like, and he chuckled. Dads. He chuckled. He goes, all right, all right. And so he had a lot of questions after, but yeah, he was pretty proud.
That's good.
Awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
I find it to be quite a bonding moment, especially for fathers and daughters,
Mhm.
where you've grown up around firearms. And my father said to me, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to be interested," or
Oh,
what a
yeah,
guy
actually, my dad said the same thing. I forgot about that. He goes, "Oh, I didn't know you'd ever be interested in that. Why'd you get interested in that?" I'm like, "Because of you, Dad."
Yeah.
you didn't ask and you didn't offer, and yeah.
And here
Funny.
we are.
And here we are. And here we are. A
Well,
couple of women talking about
yeah.
firearms. So let's talk about women in firearms and women
Yeah,
in
let's do
shooting sports.
that. So, Heather, I got to ask, why do you think it's
Mm.
important for women to get involved in shooting sports?
Well, I think number one, it's like there's always this misconception that it should be just for men.
Mm,
And why? Like, I don't know where that came from because I grew up in an area where women went and hunted as well.
mm,
Um, but I think that especially in this day and age, this whole situation of like, well, it's a man's thing. Well, why not try a new skill set and see what it does to you, especially when the part of the empowering part comes from? Or why is it important for women to try it? Because if you're judging this, culture and this world, why not try and see what and understand it first before you're so quick to like judge it? Because I hear that a lot, and I think that that's the biggest takeaway for me as to why women should, because sometimes they're the first ones to say, "Oh, that is terrible." Meanwhile, if they tried it, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm in." And
Yeah.
all of a sudden we're having charcuterie nights.
Charcuterie and clay nights.
Yeah.
Shooting clay nights. Yeah.
There's an idea there.
Yes.
But no, I think, it's like anything. If you look at it, and I know we're talking about guns, so if someone hasn't done this, they're like, what is she talking about?
Mhm.
But I think it's like any type of skill set or anything new. If you've been curious about it, it's that part where when you go out, you meet new people, you meet a new world that's going to build relationships. And it's all because you were curious about shooting a gun.
Mhm.
It's amazing what can open up in your world when you try something new. I think that's how you guys started too, this whole
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, and I love going back to the top of the show that you did this because in your heart you didn't want the family heirlooms, the family history to be lost based on current legislation.
Yeah.
If that was the case, and so I love that part of it as well. It wasn't because you were just curious or just interested
Mhm.
or wanting to feel empowered in a different way. But also because you were looking back at the way you grew up and you were loving that Canadian heritage and culture and history that we all have. I mean, the three of us of having that shooting, hunting, kind of thing. So I love that you brought that to the show tonight because I think that is it bookends everything we're talking about.
And why women should also go out and shoot. You just might meet your future husband.
Right. Just like our IPSC partner.
Hey.
You too? Yeah.
You guys just went silent. You're like, that was a very girl thing to say.
No,
Yeah, it was.
I was just going to say our application. Heather's currently seeking applicants.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I got a lot of single friends. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we can have charcuterie boards and date night.
There you go.
Right?
Right.
So that's funny because our last question for you is what do you think women, what do you think, what are your recommendations that can be done? I'm all excited about dates and charcuterie boards on how women can get involved. What should be done to get more women out and dating and charcuterie boards aside? Is there anything else you got?
No, I think you should do that. We should set up an event night with single hot men who shoot. I'll bring the women, charcuterie boards. Like, this is perfect, you guys.
Right.
And I honestly think there's something to this.
It's the She Shoots Ladies Night spinoff. Got it.
I'm holding you both to this, okay?
So it does happen. Remember, we were talking about one of our past guests who's just going to the Worlds. Well, she met her. She's engaged. She just got engaged. And her partner, she met him at that range. And he's going to the Worlds with her.
And he happens to be the number one male in Canada.
Yeah, they're the number one couple in Canada.
Cool.
No,
they're the number one couple.
Isn't it cute?
But can I say, like, when we went shooting, when I went with Deneen, there was a husband and wife that went for the afternoon. And I remember thinking, okay, that would be so amazing to spend the afternoon doing that. And they figured it out, and you could just see they were just having a blast with it. So I think there's obviously something to that. So get those charcuterie nights going, guys.
When we get Casey back on the line, we're going to have to ask her because that's in part how she met her future husband too.
Oh.
What? So. Count me in for charcuterie night. See, awesome. we can, and I can round up some women, so it's pretty easy. No,
that's we got her back.
He is my husband.
That's so good.
I was thinking, future husband. We have to talk after the show.
I meant then it was
later. And we did bring the kids to the range with us, so it was kind of a family thing. I had my daughter in the bucket seat when she was still under a year, going around the range with us with those little headphones on her head.
If that doesn't tell you how great the community is, I don't know what does. Yeah. And thank you so much for Deneen. I have to say thank you again for including me because that was a great start to it. And you guys are all amazing individuals. And I think that, I got to get a roundup of single women and married women. Okay, we'll include the married women too.
Yeah, Yeah, they can bring their husbands, or
yeah.
we'll find something for
I
them to do as well. Mm.
It becomes a
Um,
competition. There's a lot of people who shoot with their significant others. It all becomes a competition.
Which is fun.
yeah, people who
I
shoot
only
together
managed to
stay
keep my
together.
husband once, so
People who shoot together stay together. I'm going to bookmark that one.
So if somebody wants to plan a single charcuterie shooting night, how can they get a hold of you, Heather Prosak? What are your socials?
Yeah, just look up Heather Prosak. Let me know. I'll help you out. I do some live events on the side. Okay. And then I'll connect with you guys. Okay. That's fun.
So Casey, you just flipped up all of her contacts for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X.
seemed appropriate.
And you know what? I think it's something I wanted to mention is that if you're watching this on my account and you've been thinking about shooting or you've had questions about it, maybe even nervous, reach out to me. Obviously, I have some amazing women in my life now who have great experience if I don't have the answers, but reach out to me and ask me questions, because I would love another newbie in this. That would be kind of a cool thing.
That's really
And the best part, it's not restricted to Calgary, which is the area I'm in, because Kelly's on the other side of the country. And we have received lots of emails and social media contacts from somebody who says, hey, I'm a new female shooter and I live in X, and we find somebody for them. So we have connected lots and lots of ladies. And then it's up to them to get out and have fun. But when they reach out, we find them a contact so that they can go to their local club.
We're literally across the country and even out of the country as well. We have people in the US, right, Casey?
Yeah. We moved to Texas.
I'm coming to Texas. That's it.
We're all coming to Texas.
We got a room.
Charcuterie boards are on you, though.
Yeah.
It's cheaper down in the US, I think. So.
Kind of
is. All right. Thank you so much, Heather, for coming on tonight. We really enjoyed speaking with you this evening and hearing all about your experience, first time at the range, and truly crushing it. It was amazing to speak with you. So,
thanks for having me, ladies.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. And again, it was a great talk. Why don't we get into our upcoming events? Because I'm just checking out some of the comments. Kaneki, they want to be invited to the charcuterie night. Let's get into our upcoming events. The CUSIP is looking for volunteers and board members. If you're interested, please send us a brief email to submissions@cusip.ca. I feel weird reading from the Rahina's perspective. So
you're doing a great job, but it is
thank
weird
you very much
when you're reading from someone else's writing.
I feel like I need to add a little Latin flair to this as well, but I'm not doing well. If you're a student at a Canadian university that doesn't currently have a gun club, or you are interested in starting one, send us an email at submissions@cusip.ca and we'll assist you with getting a club started. And normally she says over to Kelly to talk about upcoming maple seeds, but let's turn it over to Nadine. Nadine can turn it back to me, and then I'll close out the show.
I'm running through my head about charcuteries and clays. So I think I'm going to call it shotgun and charcuterie, right? Casey, shotgun and charcuterie. I think we could do something with that.
Yes,
so,
great.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I'll have to fly back.
Sorry, what's that, Casey?
I'll have to fly back.
Right?
Right?
Absolutely.
All my guns are still in Canada anyway, so.
Well, then we expect you back. Absolutely. So I've got ladies' night tomorrow night. I'm starting a new student tomorrow night. I just got an email for another new student. She won at a dog club raffle, one of my donations of a shooting experience. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention my new little superstar, my Springer Spaniel, Ivy, who's getting ready for her first and second trial back to back. So I'm having the absolute time of my life being a gun for training my little girl, because she actually has a trainer that knows what he's doing. I'm just the dumb end of the gun. So I've got some of that going on, and it sounds like Heather and I have to set up a go shooting day. So that's kind of what I've got going on. So how about you? It's probably more serious on the maple seed side.
Well, no, not okay. Yeah. Under the CCFR, I'm going to be headed out to Lower Trent Valley this weekend for a ladies' day. We got about 100 ladies coming out to try guns for the first time. Exciting for them. And I do have a lot of stuff that's going on with Maple Seed. So if you're interested in going to a Maple Seed event, go to mapleseedrifleman.com or go to it's Project Maple Seed. Go to mapleseedrifleman.com, check out our events page, and you can see everything that's happening across the country. We do have a ladies' seed that's going to be taking place on September 13th. It's taking place in the Collingwood area, Blue Mountain. It does have space available. So if you're here in Ontario and you're interested and you want to come out and have a ladies only event, go sign up for that. But check out all the events in Alberta. We have BC as well, and Ontario events that are still coming out. Saskatchewan might have something a little bit later in the year, as well as Atlantic Canada. We have a couple more events that are going to be taking place. So yeah, that's Project Maple Seed. Before we go, I would like to once again thank all of our sponsors. So we have Cabela's Outdoor Fund, we have Beretta, and then we also have Vortex. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you the show. If you're like today's episode, please leave us a like and follow us on social medias. That way you don't miss out on all of our episodes. You can watch us on YouTube and Facebook, and you can go and listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or any of the places where you can listen to podcasts. If you like our message and would like to learn more about our programs, check out our website at qsif.ca, ladyguns.ca, and mapleseedrifleman.com. To support us, you can go to support us and get some of the additional perks of our memberships. Get some additional perks. Again, I need to go check out our membership and our programs. Thank you all for tuning in tonight for She Shoots Podcast, Season 4, Episode 43, Shotgun Spark, A New Shooter's Crush. Make sure to join us on September 9th for the next episode of our She Shoots Podcast at our regular times of 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard, and 8 p.m. Center of the World, EST, and keep an eye on our social media pages for the next episodes and our announcements. Have a very good night, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.